a Black woman.
Wow, I like how you emphasized on that.
It was necessary. A lot of careers are actually solutions to a problem.
Yo, the timing of your laugh.
Yes, it was. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the afternoon shift. So excited to have you. Tamani, how are you feeling today?
Feeling good. For some reason, I like Wednesdays. It's just the middle of the week. It's closer to the weekend, and so feeling good. Yeah.
Likewise. So, today we want to talk about something that's appealing to the Zambian youth, the generation that is thinking, what career can I possibly do? And right now, I guess something that everybody's talking about, right? Load shedding.
Oh yeah, we are not ready.
And it's no secret that a lot of careers are actually solutions to a problem, right?
Yeah.
So for the next decade or so, what are some of the careers that you think will come up for a lot of students, a lot of graduates? What should they be looking at?
I think just even like piggybacking off of like the whole load shedding thing, I think renewable energy and electrical trades will become like super popular. I think it's already kind of, that industry is growing already.
Yeah.
So I think even in the next 10 years, it's going to remain relevant and become even more popular in terms of like providing career prospects for students or career opportunities for students. So I think that's one of the ones I think I would say.
Yeah. And I think even sooner than like a decade from now, because it's already like a current problem.
Yeah.
And post-elections, we don't know what is going to happen.
That's true.
But it's looking, it's very likely, highly likely, that we'll be back to factory settings.
Yeah.
And we'll have to deal with load shedding as a major problem. Businesses will be affected, just your day-to-day life, honestly, so affected when load shedding is back in full swing. But yeah, I think a lot of students now, or people that are looking to study something new even, should look into that industry. I think it's really important. Another one that I had in mind was the mining industry.
Oh yeah.
That's one of, like, if not our biggest industry in this country. And Zambia is looking to expand copper production. So students who are interested in mining, I fully stand behind them, fully encourage it. I think it's a very good career to take on. And it's also one of the high-paying ones. If you really think about
true.
it.
That is true. Actually, it is.
So yeah, mining is another one. But what else aside from that, Thames?
I think the digital space. Like courses
definitely.
in computer science, AI-related programs. So I think at the moment, digital transformation is like a priority for the country, and because of that, so many opportunities are opening up for people that are looking for jobs.
Yeah.
And of course, if you're maybe somebody that's looking to study something and you get into computer science now, by the time you're done, I think would have like more opportunities available.
Definitely.
Employment prospects for students. So I think the digital space is another area or another field that's expanding or will continue to expand even in the next 10 years.
Globally, even not just with regards to Zambia.
Yeah. So there's like a lot going on in that space. Yeah.
For sure. And what do you think about the tourism industry?
That, I think I've noticed a trend on social media these days, and a lot of Zambia's like tourist spots and all these like, what should I do when I come to Zambia kind of thing. Like it's just really growing, and I think we've seen an influx of tourists coming into Zambia, blogging and vlogging and things like that when they're around, and then that creates traction for people that are out there. So I think it's a space that's also growing like in its own way, and we've got so many beautiful like tourist attractions in this country. I think the Victoria Falls will always be,
it will always be
doesn't get old. Like so,
even for us
that
Zambians,
you'd have gone there like 4, 5, 6 times, but it's still like
special every time.
Special,
yeah.
So I think.
But do you think the load shedding situation affects that industry even just a little? Do you think?
I think it does, to be honest. But I've seen how a lot of hotels and places that are in the tourism industry have adjusted to that. I think they kind of did that before, like the first wave. I don't know if I should call it the first wave. It wasn't the first wave, but like the
Sounds
load
like
shedding that we
COVID.
kind of, that
First
we
wave.
experienced. It does. That we experienced just like recently. I noticed how we all kind of like adjusted to that. So I think they're also putting into place alternative options for, electricity and things like that, so that, and hopefully they don't get affected by the whole load shedding thing. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Fingers
yeah.
crossed. But yeah, no, I mean, Zambia is a beautiful place to live. And for those students who want to get an education abroad and come back, these are some of the things you can think about as a career for the next decade. So hit us up in the comment section. Let us know what you think are some of the careers that are coming up in the next decade for Zambian students to think about. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode.
Hey guys, welcome back to the afternoon shift. We're so excited to talk about today's episode. So, Wani, we actually have something exciting to talk about today.
Tell me about it, Musengi.
I'm telling you. So, I don't think as Zambians we really look at the success of, our fellow Zambians outside of the country. We talk about like study abroad all the time, but like just in terms of Zambians actually thriving and living like abroad, we don't really talk about the good stuff that they're doing, and just like the awesome things that we can just learn and just be like so inspired by, to say that, like a Zambian can actually go far and do cool, amazing things. So yeah, I was literally just like going through a list of people who I thought were like influential.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of like influential Zambians out there.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are doing big things and making a name for themselves, and so it's nice to see.
It is.
Yeah, but who did you come across? Maybe tell me.
So I came up with a list of two, narrowing down to two. I think the first one that I would love to talk about, which has been a heavy name in the LinkedIn fam, has been Miss Dambisa Moyo. Yeah. Have you heard of her?
Heard about her.
Yeah?
Yeah. She's into finance and stuff like that. Yeah, tell us more.
I think a lot of people don't know that she actually studied from Zambia. A lot of people looked at her current status where she is at now. She's Baroness in the UK. That's a very heavy title. So you'd look at that and you'd be like, what good can come out of Zambia? She literally studied economics and mastered later on and in the field of economics, and then later went into the field of finance and found herself, in one of the highest places in UK court. So she's doing inspirational things, making very important decisions on behalf of not just Zambians at large, but Africans, being a representative. And she's a Black woman.
Wow. I like how you emphasized on that.
It was necessary. It was very necessary.
Wow, that's really cool. I think that's really nice that with somebody like that to look up to. I think so many people are looking up to her actually.
That's very true.
Yeah, so I think that's really that's huge. Yeah.
It is. And that's especially for people like more academic and all of that, want to get into those big heavy spaces. You just need to know that it's possible. Yeah. And the second person is Lukwesa Barak as well. And I think I'm more inclined to her because I grew up watching her. She's a BBC news anchor. She's been there for quite some time.
I think I've actually heard of her.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I
Barak,
think you
her
have.
last name is Barak.
Barak.
And she's Zambian.
Yes, she is. I think a lot of Zambians have seen her. They just don't know that that's her.
I think because then the last name, like, it doesn't really...
It doesn't give off Zambia. Yes, of
No,
course. But the first name, it would be like Lukwesa.
Oh, yeah. Right.
Yes. So she does amazing things. She's a great presenter, and she does a lot of travel and, journalism. It's which is really good because if you look in the Zambian context, you don't really look at the field of journalism as like something that can be sustainable or can actually elevate you in your career. But she's like proving the odds.
Yeah.
And I really didn't intend on this happening, but they're both Black women.
Nice. Okay,
Yeah.
so since we're talking about Black women,
Yes, please.
I'm just going to
Continue
the trend.
Let's go.
I think for me, somebody that's inspired me, and I think maybe it's just because I'm a huge fan as well,
Yeah.
is Sampa the Great.
Oh,
I think she's one of the people on my list who I'm like, wow, that's a Zambian out there just doing the most. She's on so many global stages, and she's just really, like, she's got a different sound. There's something very unique to her art.
For sure. Black Panther has her song,
Has her
right?
song, exactly. So
Yeah.
she's just doing the most out there, and I think for me that's like something that's inspiring to me.
Yeah.
How unique she really stands out.
She
Like I said,
does.
she stands out
She
in her
does.
art, so
She does.
I think she's really cool.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah. So I
Another
think
one, maybe, or that's just like an exhaustive
you
list.
know, yeah.
No, that's okay.
No, I mean I have a long
Yeah.
list, but then what we have
For
to
sure.
carve out
Yeah.
5 other hours of the day to
Oh
do
my
that.
gosh.
So,
yeah.
but like I think that's a good list there.
In the spirit of
Mhm.
women, right?
Yeah.
So that's good. Thank you guys for joining in on this episode where we have unknowingly touched on the beauty of successful Black women, and we can't
And
wait
they're
to see
Zambian.
you.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Afternoon Shift. Musenge, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
I'm feeling good. I'm done with my exams. So
Yay.
pressure's off. Yay! How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Exam season is always interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
Feels like now you can
I can relax.
relax and breathe. Yeah.
I'm telling you. Oh my gosh.
That's cool. So,
Mhm.
something interesting that's been on my mind, dealing with students on a day-to-day basis and just seeing the different students that come in and some of the things that are on their minds when it comes to making a decision about where to study and what to study is this thing of a gap year, right?
Heavy topic.
Yeah. And for some reason, I mean, people are on either, like, there's no middle ground, I find, when it comes to this. It's like you're either on the pro side of it or the con side of it. Like, you have to pick a side, you know? And I think for the most part, a lot of students get to their final year, whether it's, they're ending at high school level, grade 12, IGCSE, or they're doing A-levels or something extended. There's a lot of pressure, when you get to that point of like, what's next? What's the next step to take, etc. So what do you think? I'm curious to know, what do you think about, taking gap years? Because I know on the other side of it, it doesn't look good for some students for different purposes. But yeah, what do you think?
I think, like you said, gap year is like a very nuanced topic. Some people have pro and con. I think that coming from a perspective that I took a huge gap year.
Sounds like more than a year.
It was like 4 years, give or take.
Wow.
It was
Yeah.
huge. So I think there are good things and bad things that came about that. A few good things was that when I finally went into university, I wasn't as naive. So my mom didn't necessarily have that much fear to say, oh, like, she's so small. Like, how is she going to navigate it? She didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing. I equally found a good opportunity to make myself busy with a few other things that could, help me boost a little bit of my CV and overall confidence, which I found really good. But I think if you're someone who is very close-knit with your friends, you can feel kind of behind.
Left behind. That's true. That is true.
Literally, as I was starting, some of my friends were literally graduating.
Ooh.
So it's kind of like, but at the end of the day, people remind you that, you have your own path.
Exactly.
So I feel like that's my nuance. It's like neither here nor there, but it really depends on what happens along the way for each person.
It's really about what you make of it, isn't
what
it?
you make of the
so
gap year.
a gap year doesn't have to be you're sitting at home doing nothing, being lazy, getting on your mom's nerves, like
Too late for that.
Like, you know how African moms get when you're just sitting doing
there just comes to a point where they're like, I can't take this.
Right?
Go find something to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it doesn't have to be that kind of year. It can actually be a year where you rediscover yourself, or discover yourself if you never have
That's
before,
a good
you know?
term. Yeah.
Yeah, like find something you're interested in, find your passions.
Yes.
Do something with yourself, volunteer even. You know, it doesn't have to always be like a paid engagement.
Yes.
There's a lot of internships out there. You can volunteer with different organizations, you know, just putting yourself out there and finding yourself, finding what you like, finding what you don't like.
Yeah.
Because even I find that some students are done with high school or done with A-levels, and they're not even 100% sure what direction, you know, they want their career to go in. So I think that year sometimes can be a good way for them to pause and really just understand themselves a bit better and make a better decision for their future.
That's good.
Yeah. So
Take
I think
time.
gap years are not
all bad.
You know, the end of the world, really.
No, they really aren't.
But what are the implications when it comes to visas and applying for school, and what should people, like, what should students keep in mind when deciding whether or not to take a gap year?
Take a gap year. Okay, so that's a good question. I think with regards to the visa side, as a student wanting to take a gap year, I feel like that might be a bit tricky, but it depends entirely on which place that you'd like to study as a student. I know that it's not actually all destinations that have the issue of you having like a long gap year. It's, you know, usually places like Australia and Canada usually just check through how long you have been out of school, just simply because they want to know what you have been up to in that time. They don't want necessarily to have idle students there, or people who haven't, you know, been as active and, you know, just merely want to go to school for the sake of. So I feel like that's why they're a bit strict. So I feel like as a student, if you're looking to take a gap year or a few years, just pay attention to the places that you like to go. If they don't necessarily have that much of a strict criteria. And if they do, make sure that you have enough evidence to show that you were at least doing something during that time. Something, you know, that had brought some experience, or you know, was of value. Doesn't necessarily have to always be a paid gig, so to say, but it could be, you know, something that just looks really good for not necessarily what you want to do, but just generally your well-being, your well-being.
Staying busy, keeping active. Keeping your brain active, I think, is also important. So that's it about gap years, guys. Let us know in the comments if you have any thoughts about gap years, and let us know your experience if you took a gap year as well. Cheers. See you on the next episode.